So Ilia Topuria is fighting Charles Oliveira this Saturday, and when this fight was first announced, every single person was saying Topuria is going to kill Oliveira. He's going to absolutely starch him. He's going to knock him out. Charles is a sacrificial lamb. Charles is going to get absolutely demolished, and I was one of those people who had those thoughts. But then I started doing some studying for this fight, and I found a couple problems in Ilia Topuria's game that I think that Charles could exploit to potentially win and maybe even dominate this fight. So let's go over those and build a game plan for Charles that if he follows, he has a chance at going out there and beating Ilia and becoming champion again. So the first thing I want to talk about is the kick game. So Ilia never throws kicks up against above the waist. He's only throwing calf kicks mainly, and they're very good. He has very, very good calf kicks. You saw him utilize that against Volkanovski. He threw one at Volkanovski and literally spun him around. So that's something about his game that I really like. But I don't think that's going to be a huge problem for Oliveira because he goes out there and fights like a traditional Muay Thai, like in a Muay Thai stance. So very light on that front foot, ready to check anything. So I think that's something that hugely benefits Charles against Ilia, that other opponents of Ilia did not have the ability to check the kicks, and because naturally the Thai stance is very good at dealing with low kicks. And another thing is Ilia himself doesn't check low kicks effectively. You can go back and watch his fights with Volkanovski, with Holloway. You really can't find many great examples of him actually defending a low kick properly. And the Muay Thai stance also makes it so you can throw the low kicks effectively. So that's something that's going to hugely benefit Charles. And another thing that we need to focus on that Charles needs to do is the pressure battle. If he can pressure Oliveira up against, just like on the back foot, Ilia's defense really struggles, his offense really struggles, and he can neutralize the scariness of Ilia Topuria by doing that. So I think the pressure battle is going to be a very, very big deal here and a very, key detail for him winning. So I need him to pressure. But how can he do that safely and effectively? So first thing on how we can pressure is straight punches. We saw in the Volkanovski fight and the Max Holloway fight is that Ilia is very, He eats straight punches a lot. Max was putting pressure on, forcing him on the back foot and was landing his straight shots very effectively. Volkanovski was jabbing him in the first round and up until he got knocked out, was jabbing very effectively against Ilia. So he doesn't deal with straight shots very well, especially on the back foot. So that's I think that's something that Charles needs to do, is really focus on the straight shots. The second thing is front kicks and teep kicks. This is another thing that the Thai stance really does well for Charles in this matchup, is that he can throw front kicks very effectively, and we saw him do this against Michael Chandler and some other people, and I think he should add this into his game plan. I think that would help him out a lot, is just throwing up the middle into the midsection. Max Holloway was doing this a lot, and he was having a lot of success with this, so I think that is another key thing for him to do. And final thing that he needs to do is the wrestling. We saw Ilia Topuria get taken down by Bryce Mitchell, and I think Charles, if he can take him down, I think Charles can take down Ilia. He has some of the best chain wrestling that he really showed in his last fight with Michael Chandler, is being able to chain takedowns together. So I think that's going to be a really big thing. And also the first Michael Chandler fight is he timed a perfect double leg that was so deep, Michael Chandler was forced to do a guillotine that was not close to finishing Charles. So I think that's another thing, is basically how I want the fight to go is Charles not moving back on the back foot ever, if he can avoid it, and going forward, throwing straight punches and calf kicks and front kicks. and pressuring him up against the fence if he can, and then getting the takedown there. Or if he gets pressured at all, duck under, get a reactive takedown if he can, and take him down in the center of the octagon. So that is the game plan for Oliveira, and if he can follow that, I think he could have very good success against Ilia. But now for the prediction, I'm still going to pick Ilia to win, because Charles, something that he likes to do in his fight, and it's very effective, and it might even work sometimes against Ilia, is he likes to grab collar ties and throw punches. And he likes to grab the tie clench and throw punches. And we saw what happens when you do that against Ilia. Volkanovski grabbed a tie clench against him, and he just postured, threw body shots, and you can see Volk's face change, and you can tell that he did not win that exchange, and that he got really hurt with those body shots. And then that's probably why he didn't try it for the rest of the fight. And another thing that we saw is Max Holloway. If you see when he gets knocked out, he almost grabs a collar tie, and that's when he gets, dropped to the canvas. So that's something that I think Charles probably, if I were him, I would avoid doing that. And yeah, I wouldn't play around grabbing collar ties or the tie clinch with him. It just seems like not worth the risk, too dangerous. So that's another thing. It's one reason why I'm picking Ilia. And then the second thing is just like Charles. I don't know if he'll get in there and follow this game plan, because we've seen in his past fights, even fights where he wins dominantly by a finish, he still gets dropped because he goes out there way too recklessly. And we just don't know what Charles is going to show up, if he's going to be cautious like he was in the Michael Chandler fight, in the second fight, or if he's going to go out there, rush forward, and then get clipped. So that's why I'm going to pick Ilia. And yeah, that's my prediction. Like and subscribe. Yeah, see you guys later.